Nick, when the announcement came on, they say 3 at the end of that race. It kind of felt like a little like Bannister. How'd you feel when you heard that?
That's exactly what I was thinking. Like, obviously not to the international magnitude, but to my internal goal. Like, there was that moment of tension. It was really neat. I was just waiting. It was really close. It was such similar splits to what I ran a month ago. I was like, oh gosh, are we really going for this moment again? And if it wasn't for Hobbs, who was having on his for his level an off day, but it really helped to drag me through those last 600 meters to I think we passed 3 or 4 guys and kept my momentum going.
So that walk me through the last lap, and did you think you had it when you crossed the line?
I saw the clock at the balance, like I've got to be able to do it, but then I wasn't able to go to the next gear, like it wasn't actually there. I felt like I wasn't tying up, but I wasn't accelerating either, so I knew it was going to be close. I'm surprised it was that close. Like I thought we closed a little bit better than that. I think 0.29 of a second is all I managed to sneak under by. So no, it's relief, a little bit of disappointment because I was thinking I was capable of a couple of seconds, 3 or 4 seconds faster today, but ultimately just, yeah, it's really nice. 20 years, like that's, the longer it's been as people have like talked about it, the more it's actually like helped me reflect on my career, and so it's a cool way to sort of put a cap on it.
Nick, for this event, the Millrose Games, you're one of the few, if not the only athlete to compete as a pro both at MSG and today. Do you have any reflections on all of your time at Millrose?
Yeah, it's always been a very special moment. It's always cool as the mile being the final race of the evening. In Millrose, in the Madison Square Garden, they put a spotlight on you as you do the pre-race stride around the track, and here they bring the flames up. Like, what a privilege! And then perhaps my last ever want to make a mile, I get called out as the very last athlete. So it's a very, very humbling and privileged opportunity. And I'll be honest, like when it was being brought up that it might not be at the Garden anymore, I was quite disappointed. I thought it was going to be a bad decision to move it to the Armory, but I'm glad to say that I've been proven completely wrong, and it's been really fun, if not more spectacular, running here because the crowd is more intense. Madison Square Garden never sold out when I was running there, and the crowd's right over the top of you, and yeah, it was a really cool experience the last 7 or so years that I've been running here.
You said you had fun out there today?
I had fun in my warm-up, being with Hobbs, doing the pre-race, all of that sort of stuff, going to want to make a mile room, getting my name called, going to the start line. The first couple of laps, after that it wasn't fun. It was like, I hurt, like, I'll be honest, that's the hardest thing about racing at my age is like, you question, why do I put myself through this anymore? Why am I subjecting myself to pain when I don't have to be? It's not the same as training, because training you get breaks to like recalibrate and okay, I can cope with this pain, but this is like sometimes that question creeps into your mind.
Has the streak sustained your career at all? Would you be doing this right now if not for...
Yeah, I think there's 2 main reasons why I'm still going. Probably the first reason is because it's such a fun social outlet for me. I'm working full-time now. I need the social experience at the Very Nice Track Club. We have such a great environment to be a part of with Ron's enigmatic personality and the different age demographics, and it's fun for my kids to be around my training partners, and I enjoy keeping the young kids honest whenever I can. Young kids isn't Hobbs and Mason. But then secondly, to actually still race, I needed a carrot or a reason to be. Let's face it, I was 9 seconds behind Ollie today. I used to, the last several years, why am I still doing this? I'm getting beaten by people that I used to be able to match or beat, but having a sub 4 is still that carrot to chase. It was a worthy goal, and if no one else has done something before, then it's still a worthy goal, and no, I'm very proud of it.
Do you think of yourself as sort of some older runners have pointed to you and said, this is a guy who's inspirational. I mean, do you hear that from people that that you become kind of this, you're an Olympic medalist, but you become this other thing to a lot of runners and fans?
When I first made it on the international scene, I was 22 at the Commonwealth Games. I won a gold medal, and it's I really felt privileged that I had a chance to provide inspiration to the next generation of New Zealand kids. I remember when I was 8 and 9 years old watching the Barcelona Olympics on TV. They're on the other side of the world from New Zealand, and that suddenly brought the sport of track and field, I want to do this. So I had my opportunity to hopefully do that to the next 8 or 9 year olds. So that was my motivation for a handful of years. And then when I was like early 30s, the young generation didn't connect to me anymore. And I was like, well, I always found it hard to find like a extrinsic motivation. And then, but now that I'm in my later 30s, the last 2 or 3 years, I get contacted by a lot of former athletes who like, life got in the way and like they got out of shape. I'm like, man, like I'm really like, you're doing this to represent us, and it's motivated me to buy a pair of shoes and get out there again. So I have, it's gone full circle. It's given me a age segment for me to represent again, and I hopefully instill some motivation for them.
What's the future hold now?
I really don't know.
I do. You're going to be a father again.
Yeah, that's the number one priority. Is I've got my family first. I don't want to say my job is my second priority, but I'm enjoying my challenge of like being in the real world. It's been almost 2 years now, and I've really felt entrenched in that new lifestyle. I made a lot of friends, and I've really enjoyed those challenges. And I feel like I'm graduating from being a student to actually being like a decision maker now. So I'm really looking forward to the next couple of years with that. But I really love going to practice every single day. My training group is a really fun environment. My wife now has 5 women in the women's squad for the Very Nice Track Club. I really enjoy being involved with that as well. And I'm the chief recruiter for her team, so I reach out to all the top collegiate women runners, and I'll be doubling down on that to try and help grow our club. And I'm not sure what lays ahead in terms of racing, but I'll still keep training to help Hobbs and Mason out, definitely through to the Paris Olympics.
Nick, how much, a month ago, if you'd had this crowd here with you, you think you'd have broken then? How many years day that?
If I'd had the crowd a month ago, was your question?
Yeah.
No, that was really unique and special in and of itself. I could hear every voice that I knew intimately, like there were people close to me, so that was very good accountability. Here was really inspiring because it's a lot of crowd. But if there were like 300 people in the crowd, it would have been a sort of a dud atmosphere. So both were very special for different reasons. It was really cool to be able to do a celebration lap after to thank all the people that came along, and I get more as a representation of all of the support that I've received throughout my career at this event.
So you're not completely closing the door on maybe 21 straight?
I'm never gonna say I'm gonna retire. I love training. I love finding opportunities to beat Mason and Hobbs in training. Like, I'll take a couple of easy days when they're training hard so that I can show up to practice fresh and give them their money's worth. And now Ben Flanagan's coming, I'll do that as well. But I could imagine myself working out 4 times a week now. So twice with Hobbs and Mason, the guys group, and then twice with the women's group, and then maybe a long run. I could envision that being my training for the next few years. I haven't really been enjoying going for solo runs the last couple of months, so I'm going to give up on those for a little while.
Thanks, Nick.
Good.
Don't retire
Congratulations.
yet, though, because you got last to Tom Brady, who retired today.
I
As a
heard
fellow Michigan,
I think my next goal, rather than 21, would be, if I'm still in shape at 40, to maybe have a crack at that.
Thank you, Nick.
Thanks.